Well, to talk sports.
Mood for what? I was about to say.
Yeah. I like it, man. What's up, everybody? Welcome into Sports with Vipe or Sports with Balls on Vipe, whichever way you want to look at it. But we are here. Sorry for the little bit of delay, but we're here. We're live. What's up, Lottie? Good to see you, Kevin Anthony. As always, good to see you. Man, look, we are in Houston, Texas, and the city's buzzing because for the first time in a while, we've got a primetime game with no primetime players.
Come on now. Come on now. Mills Mafia. It's Mills Mafia.
Mills Mafia.
Mills Mafia.
I love that.
I like that.
You like that? You
Yeah.
like that? Also, a.k.a. Young Stanford.
Oh,
Okay.
That's what I like
there
to
you
call him.
go.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I mean, we're over here at Christian's Tailgate, 2000 Bagby. It's just now picking up. The game starts here in about an hour. We'll lead you right up to it. This is the home for Bills Mafia. Like on
Yeah.
this place is crazy.
Oh,
I told
yeah,
you,
that's
it's
right.
absolutely insane here. They've got an air horn in here. If you're not ready to get tipsy and listen to an air horn blow in your ear, don't come here
Ugh.
because it is wild. They do they jump off tables into the chair. Like
I was about
everything.
to ask, do they have the plastic
Oh,
tables?
it's wild. It's absolutely wild. But we are in Houston. It is Thursday Night Football, NFL. I couldn't be more excited. I posted a video this morning about this. I just don't see Houston even staying in this game.
Really?
Maybe late they get some junk touchdowns.
Okay.
We'll get into it, I'm sure, in a little bit. But I'm just
Okay.
saying right off the bat, like I just don't see it.
Look, Mills Mafia, first of all. Okay? It's about to stick it to him.
Can't wait to talk about the Atlanta game.
Do we really? Really? Oh, Lord have mercy. I was at the Texans-Browns game over the weekend,
Yeah?
and first of all, I was about to call him Browns Mafia. The dog pound is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
What an atmosphere in the Muncie lot or something. If you're from Cleveland or you're a Browns fan, you know what I'm talking about. It's a tailgate lot. It is.
So you went to Atlanta game and then you went to
Uh-huh.
Cleveland game?
Yeah.
Man, dude.
And I think I'll be at
Jealous.
a Broncos
Yeah.
game soon.
We're going to the Skeeters next Thursday, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, hopefully. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed. Fingers crossed.
We're going to
Can
do
I-
the show live from Skeeters game, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, well,
Yep,
if you
yep.
need me, I'm here.
I know. Look, we've got all kinds of NFL to get into. There's all kinds of sports going on. It's an amazing evening for us, and especially here. I got a question for you. They going to have the roof open tonight?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think that this morning I heard on the radio they say no. But if you know how they are.
I mean, it's gorgeous. Like
It's
Oh, my God.
perfect.
This is. I mean, the weather here in Houston, you don't get this real often.
don't.
Tonight is supposed to be 60 degrees,
Ugh.
just beautiful, clear skies. You
No
don't
humidity.
ever get the. Yeah.
Look how
if you don't
straight
have the
this hair
roof
is.
open, why do you have a roof? Just for Lady Gaga to swing down or something? Dude?
I
Like,
forgot about
honestly,
that.
like, is that it?
that was probably worth however much it cost to put that retractable roof.
That's
No,
it.
but they need to do it. What is wrong? Why are they so against it?
I
don't
don't know.
know.
Maybe it's the record or something they have with it open. I don't know, but it's gorgeous. If they didn't, if I was going to the game, but
Yep.
I'm here to entertain you guys. But if I was going to the game and they didn't have the roof open, I'd be quite upset.
I would be upset
Yeah.
as
Be
well.
upset. But I'm Jeff Michael. This is Rachel Von Oranje.
Orania, you're so close. Man, look at you. You're getting better every week.
Aranya. You can find her on Twitter at
At Game Day OJ. OHJ now.
Game Day.
Because Mariah Carey got me
OJ.
banned.
Mariah. That is probably the truth.
Honestly, it is. I blame her. I absolutely blame her
Mariah
and Gucci
Carey.
Mane.
Gucci Mane.
Gucci Mane also.
Wow.
Sony also probably complained.
Look, you got to
Yeah.
follow Rachel on Twitter. I mean, if nothing else, it will entertain your afternoon, like for sure. She is quite
I'm
the
here for.
entertaining sports person when it comes to the social media aspect of it. She's going to be entertaining tonight. I'm going to try to do it as well as I can, but. We're over here at Christian's Tailgate. We want to thank Vipe for having us, for putting on this production. Let's get into some high school football games that are going on tonight. There's Thursday night football here in Texas. Before we get into the Texans game, so you got Davis and Westfield kicking it off, Hamilton and Weatherford, Episcopal here in Houston versus John Cooper. FB Austin, which I learned was Fort Bend Austin and Fort Bend Travis. I thought it was Facebook Austin and Facebook Travis. Not really, but Meadville versus Stafford, Sterling and Beaumont United, Connolly versus Cedar Creek, Regis versus St. Mary's Hall, Spring Woods and Cy Ridge, which should be a fun game, and TWCA versus Frassati. Those are your Thursday night games, and also Vipe also just partnered with Flow Sports, which is pretty cool. So
Okay.
we're gonna get some love from Flow Sports as well.
Hopefully, yeah.
All the
Yeah.
love. We want all the love.
Yeah. Kevin Anthony, go Cowboys, man. Really?
How's your high school doing?
Memorial?
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't follow them. My military school I graduated from, they're doing pretty good. I set them on the right tone in 1995. So
You're the reason.
I'm the reason.
All right, I love it. Throw some of that energy my way. Let's go.
Where'd you go to high school?
Mostly Santa Fe High School and partially Clear Creek.
Santa Fe and Clear Creek.
Okay.
All right. Clear Creek's
Yep.
not playing tonight, are they?
Santa Fe was always terrible, so I'm absolutely sure that nothing has changed. But Creek, I think they can be decent sometimes.
Well, we're going to find out with high school. We'll keep you updated every week, every Monday and Thursday. On Mondays, we'll go over the scores with you guys from high schools, then we'll get you ready for the high school games on Thursdays like I just did. So thank you, Vite, for that. Man, let's get into some MLB. I could not be more excited. We are, 10 games away from the playoffs?
Almost October, baby.
Mhm.
Oh man, this is getting juicy. I
We're
almost
cutting
wore
down.
my Astros shirt tonight, but it is about the Texans and the Carolina Panthers today. And I had a Carolina Panthers jersey I was going to wear.
Why?
D'Angelo Williams.
What? Okay, good player.
He
but
went to Memphis. I love Memphis. And if I'm gonna look, you bet. Are you taking the Texans +9, or are you taking Carolina minus?
Okay, I was hoping that I would get a minute to Google this so I
Okay,
could.
all right, well,
no,
wait.
no, don't, because I'll never find it. I'll never find it. Let me just. I'm sure if you're on social media at all, you may have already heard the stat. I didn't come up with it. I'm not that good at looking up stuff. But here's a crazy stat. It's like since 2015 or 2016, rookie quarterbacks making their first start in the NFL have covered the spread 100% of the time.
Whoa.
Yeah. And the
That's-
spread was 9 last I checked,
Yeah, it's
and then
9.
it went down to 8.5,
Let me
depending on where
check.
you're shopping.
I'll look right now, but that's a great stat. I got another one for you. I don't know which one's more impressive. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a crazy one. The Jacksonville Jaguars have not ran the ball inside the 20-yard line this year.
I believe that.
Holy crap. What? They don't have one rushing attempt inside the 20-yard line in the red zone.
Well, I heard Urban Meyer say the other day.
Insane.
He said he was. It was like they mic up coaches and stuff, and he was
Yeah.
talking, I think, to Vic Fangio, and he was saying, "Man, the NFL's hard. The NFL's really
Oh,
hard."
yeah.
He said it's like you're
Yeah.
playing Bama every week.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, baseball's hard, hitting is hard, and NFL's hard, man. What did you think?
What'd you
Tim
sign up
Tebow?
for?
You thought Tim Tebow was going to save him?
Hey,
and
that USC job's still open.
yeah, that would be looking real nice.
I bet he wishes that job was open last year,
Man.
because he'd be
Yeah.
over there right now. I guarantee you.
He's probably liking that no state income tax there in Florida, but
not one. Okay, so rookie quarterbacks starting their first NFL game.
since like 2015 or 2016, 100% of them
100%
have
of the-
covered the
The
spread.
last 4 years have covered, or 5 years. Last 5 years have covered the spread, which is a great inside tip right there if you're
Yep.
going for to cover the spread tonight. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have not ran the ball inside the red zone all year so far.
He doesn't like James Robinson for some reason. I know Carlos Hyde's back there
Yeah.
too.
And I have Robinson on one of my fantasy. I thought just give him feed him the ball.
I'm still hanging on to him on my bench because I'm like, injuries
Why are
happen.
you wearing Trevor Lawrence out? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
All right, MLB scoreboard really quick, brought to you by David Carrier over there at Smarter Mortgage. Call him at 281-650-0648. Mention SWB. Get a free quote ASAP. Refinancing and purchasing. David Carrier is your man. Like I said, the MLB is heating up. Let's go over some scores. Later on tonight, of course, we got the Astros at the Angels. If they win tonight, they'll be one game away from locking up a playoff spot. Blue Jays and Twins, Rangers, Orioles, Pirates, and Phillies all kick off as well later. Top of the first, Nationals and Reds 0-0. Cardinals and Brewers already finished. Cardinals 1-8-5. Man, they're 12 games in a row.
Very
Woo!
nice to be Cardinals right now. And I almost bet
Yeah.
on their game today. They won it because I remember this morning there were 11 games in a row.
Yeah.
Almost bet on that game. And I'm like, no, they got to lose, right? What do they have to fight
I
for?
know,
What are they
right?
playing for?
No, they're in the wild card now.
Yeah.
They are up there. Cardinals are really hot. Paul Goldschmidt homered twice. They win again for the 12th time in a row. I think the only team hotter than the Astros is the Cardinals. White Sox beat the Indians 7-2 in the first of a doubleheader. They're knotted up at zeros right now in the fourth on the second game of that doubleheader. Giants and Padres 6-6. What an entertaining series that's been. That's been fun to watch the highlights of. I don't get the chance to see all the games, but man, the highlights of those games because interdivisional rivals, obviously. Padres,
What happened to them?
it's a disappointing season.
They're a 500 team now.
500 team.
They They were so hot.
23 games back of San Francisco.
Man, and what were they before the All-Star break? It was
Whoa.
insane. They had
Yeah.
they had a really good record, and I'm just mind
the very
blown.
beginning of the season, I said that their personalities would clash, and you're starting to see it now. And this is where managerial skills come into play. There's a lot of money in that bullpen, and
A
in
whole
that,
lot
in
of
that
money
dugout.
in this.
A lot of money, and
Yeah.
so you've got who's got the bigger head. So we'll see what happens with them. They're obviously not going to go too far this year, but they're knotted up at 6 with the Giants. Diamondbacks already beat the Braves 6-4. Mariners are beating the Athletics again 6-5 in the bottom of the 9th. Unless they pull out a win, the Mariners have just whooped the Athletics straight out of contention, really.
Bye.
Which is great. Yeah,
Peace.
see you
Bye,
later.
peace out.
Mike Fiers has dodged the Astros yet. Again, will not pitch. We have 2 series against the Oakland A's, 1 here and 1 there.
Yeah.
In the last 10 games, and he's not going to be available for any of them.
Some
So,
illness or something like that.
Always.
Injury.
Yeah.
It's always that. Man.
shipping him somewhere for.
Dude, how does his team not like at this point?
Yeah.
You can't do this forever. If I'm his teammates, I'm slapping him in the face like, dude,
It's
come on,
interesting.
grab your cojones, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, face them. Come on.
Yeah. No, that would be fun. I would love to see Mike Fiers face the Astros. I think all of baseball would, but
At least do it in your stadium.
I'm not really. Yeah, I don't know how that would go down. That
Yeah.
would be ugly. Like if Correa or Altuve steps up and Fiers is pitching.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Man,
Line
I wanna
drive
see
straight
it.
to the
I wanna
grill.
see it. The only other game going on is the Dodgers are now back in front of the Rockies. Well, it's the end of the night. They just won 7-5. The Rockies actually beat them the last couple of games, which was interesting. Dodgers were hot too. The playoffs are coming. I'm
What are your
excited.
expectations?
Astros win the AL.
Okay.
Because I think the only team is the Rays that really challenges the Astros. There's an amazing stat. I think I have it right here with the Astros. Let's see on – man, it was something crazy about the
How many runs they've scored?
well, they lead the league in, I mean, every major
Everything.
category.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
It's absolutely insane. Like
They don't
average,
strike out.
runs scored,
Yep.
5th in ERA, OPS their lead, RBIs they lead, the run differential they lead. And I think the last 6 teams to do that have all reached the World Series in the AL. This is just AL, not NL. But I think the Astros and Tampa Bay go at it again.
Yeah, so they're going to
Yeah.
probably face off against the White Sox, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably first round.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. White Sox just clinched today. So yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. So it's probably gonna be the Astros and White Sox.
fantastic. I love that for
We
us.
match up great with them.
I love that for us. I say
Yeah, I mean,
us.
and
You're not
then-
supposed to say that in media.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I love the Astros.
Yeah.
Us.
And I know, and I almost wore my Astros shirt, and I was like, no, I can't be biased. And I think
Yes,
the
you
one
can.
thing I told Ashley before leaving the house, you're not supposed to wear a jersey, right? Like,
Grown men are not supposed to wear jerseys.
No, I had one though. I have one with the sleeves cut off. Like it's dope.
Really?
A Texans jersey with the sleeves cut off. It's total white trash. Like
You
but
Bill
it's-
Belichicked it?
But it's amazing. Yes.
Face, I love it.
But
I
it's
love that for
Bill
you.
I gotta see
Belichick.
it now.
I was
see
gonna
it.
I
wear
know.
it. I was gonna wear it, but I'm like no, because I did pick the Carolina Panthers to take this game tonight.
They're going to win the game.
Pretty handedly too. I think.
Yeah.
There's
I
only
can't wait to talk about this game. I'm excited.
Okay, all right, let's get into some What's Hot. Joe Applewhite, because there's a few things I want to go over, and then we'll just jump right into it. What's Hot brought to you by Joe Applewhite, Applewhite Realty, 713-291-5270. Call him. Everything he touches turns to sold. If you're looking for a house, apartment in the whole state of Texas, this guy's got you covered. Call Joe, man. He's amazing. This is more down your aisle, I think. Just some real quick NBA talk. Ben Simmons, rumors he might be traded to the Rockets. He basically says he's not playing for the 76ers another quarter. Like, he ain't doing it. Now, another person, Zion Williamson, has ghosted the New Orleans Pelicans. What are your thoughts on both of these situations?
The Zion Williamson thing, I feel like everybody goes to the Pelicans, but forgive me for not knowing this. How much longer is he there for? 2 years?
I think he's got 2 more years left.
Okay, young blood. Like
Yeah.
that's a little early to be ghosting on your contract.
Well, his family said that apparently New Orleans isn't treating them well or something. But I mean, look, dude, a hurricane hits you every 6 months. Like, why are you there in the first place? Like,
For
get out of
real.
there. Like, I mean,
Like-
you're under sea level and you wonder when water comes in. Why you flood?
Is that what they're? I thought whenever you said New Orleans isn't treating us well, I thought that meant the fans are. And
Why is it flooding? Oh, I don't know. Like, why does it do this every year?
No, but the Zion thing, I don't know how much credence I give to that. But the Ben Simmons thing,
Yeah, this
Like-
is interesting.
yeah, he's out of there. And here's the thing, Daryl Morey does not have any leverage because this has become so public. You know that Daryl Morey has to get rid of him.
Yep.
So, and you know Daryl Morey's asking price is sky high, way overpriced. And
Please don't
right
come
now
to
he's
the
getting
Rockets.
lowballed.
Oh my gosh,
It could
dude.
happen.
Ben
It could
Simmons doesn't
happen.
know if he's shooting right-handed or left-handed, and he can't shoot threes. Like, what is he doing in the NBA? And now
He
the Rockets
doesn't wanna shoot,
John
period.
Wall's out of the Rockets, and now you're going to bring in Ben Simmons.
I could see.
Bro.
I mean, the trade makes sense to me.
We finally had an athletic young team, and you're going to bring in. Oh man.
See, the thing that frustrates me is I'm scared that we're going to have to give up draft picks.
Yes. And
a
that's
long, like, just take Eric Gordon and John Wall, and we'll take Ben Simmons, whatever, until his contract's over.
we
I
do
think
need
it's
to get
okay.
rid of John Wall's contract. That thing's just retarded. 22 million a year or something like that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, man. So, I mean, I understand that, trying to get rid of, but we have incredible young talent. The Rockets, with their draft picks and with the right
Love it.
moves, 23-24 for the Rockets could be really good.
I'm excited. A lot of people, even on my TV show, like, oh, we're not talking Rockets right now. We're not talking. I'm like, yes, let's talk Rockets right now.
coming up.
Because did you see Jalen Green
Yeah.
in the summer league?
Yep.
He's really, really good. And I'm sorry, but I'm just stoked. I think he's going to end up being better than who did we all want? Who did I want? Cade Cunningham. I think I'm going to
Yes,
end up being
I wanted
wrong.
him. I wanted him
Whenever
too.
they faced up against each other, I was there for it. And you saw who the better player was. Like I am stoked about all these young guys.
NBA's coming to fruition pretty soon. The camps will start, and those are just the two leading stories right now. Is Ben Simmons and Zion not going to report apparently, and we'll see how that plays out. Something real interesting happened yesterday. Canelo and Robert Plant. Now
Yeah.
I've been waiting on this fight for a while, right? And these two faced off. Plant's already lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He already lost
Nailed
at the media at the face to face, like their first time. I mean, Canelo pushed him. Plant tried to throw a punch. Canelo just ducks and goes pop, bam,
Yeah.
and then it says, nasty
That
cuts
was a
on his
nasty
eyes.
cut.
Like,
Oh my God, that was.
they're saying though
huge.
it won't derail the fight, so that's at least good because I do want to watch this fight. Well, I mean now I don't know. It's going to be entertaining because these two obviously don't like each other. I mean he did hit him in the face really good.
I
So-
love it. I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for the chaos. I'm here for the content.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, I'm not the world's biggest boxing fan, but I am so invested now because of things like this. They get you, and great marketing for them. And also, watch.
Way to go, Robert Plant. Just took one in the face for some marketing.
But the shoving, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
what does Conor McGregor do for all of his fights?
Yeah.
He gets you all amped up because yap. So,
Made $180 million last year yapping his mouth.
yeah, exactly.
And broke
what's
his leg
name?
in half.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, whatever
Yeah, they
I
make
still
it
can't
tough.
remember their names.
Yeah, it's both of them.
It's a bunch of, the fights are not good.
No.
Yeah.
They're all KOs and half of them look scripted, but the yap, it gets you invested, gets you amped up. And
They
I-
should be excited. I'm glad you brought that up because young boxing fans will now watch this Canelo Plant fight
Yeah.
because of Jake Paul and Logan or what Logan Paul?
Yeah, Jake and Logan Paul, yeah.
Paul. I think that they'll have a bigger audience now.
Absolutely.
You know, and
that's
so
what I mean. Great for branding.
If as long as it brings more people to the sport of boxing and highlights it again, man, I'm all for it. Like whatever. I mean, those guys are idiots. I think everybody pretty much knows that. But I mean, look, if it brings more people to the sport and more money, hey, all for it.
It's good for the sport.
Oh,
But
oh.
I'll tell you this, watching the way Canelo just reflexes
Oh.
like a fox and then come back and deck Plant,
That
like
was-
plant one in his face, like that absolutely, I'm betting Canelo.
Oh, well,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
100%.
After that, I didn't know before because I'm like, the other dude's so much bigger. You know I'm a bet on it.
Robert.
But I'm like, the other dude is so much bigger.
Yeah.
And my friends who are Hispanic are like, no, come on, Canelo. And I'm like,
Canelo,
It's a holiday whenever he fights. It's a holiday.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
for
true,
sure.
I love him.
Yeah,
I love
he's
him.
a pound
Yeah, I
for
think
pound.
the reason why it started because I was watching but listening to the radio stations and all. It's because he was calling out his mom, like in the face to face. It was because he was talking about his mom and like, hey man,
Yeah,
don't do
but
that.
then
and
Plant
he shoved
said
him.
because
Something
Plant's
about steroids, right?
well, Plant's mother was murdered at
Oh.
some point in time, so he was like, "Why would I say that about Canelo's mom?" So whatever it was, Canelo got him good.
Oh, yeah.
and I mean, and Plant tried to get him, and Canelo was like, "Whoop, bam, bam," and I mean, because it was ugly. Go Canelo! I'm a Canelo fan.
Go
so
Canelo.
I'm just glad that there's a unification belt fight. Because if Canelo wins, he'll unify the belts, and that hasn't happened. So I'm excited for that fight.
Okay.
A little bit. Chicago's got a new quarterback.
Justin Fields, season.
Justin Fields
What are your
is starting
expectations?
for Andy Dalton.
They said Dalton's still the starter though. He's week to week.
Can you make up your mind? This is your chance, Nagy, however you pronounce it. This is your chance. Like, before, we all understood that you're just honoring your promise to Andy Dalton. We get it. You're a man of your word. But now is your chance to get out of it without looking like you didn't honor your word.
They're playing a beat-up Browns team in Cleveland. That's where I have a little bit of Justin. This would be a rough environment for him.
It's still a pass rush. That Chicago offensive line, like, is spotty, obviously, and to go up against Myles Garrett and not Jadeveon Clowney. Literally, no one is scared of Jadeveon Clowney.
No.
But that being said, he's a run stopper, and what's Fields going to do? Probably run a little bit.
Yeah, his stats right now, Fields, for the season, obviously it's a small sample size, but they're not incredible. It is his opportunity, but Chicago fans shouldn't expect too much. I wouldn't. Look, if it's an entertaining game and Fields plays well, good. But I don't think he's anywhere near NFL ready, especially not to play in Cleveland, who's probably going to win their division. And they've got a really, really good team and an incredible defense. So the expectations for him is, I don't know, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 250 yards. And that's a decent game for him, as long as he can manage it and it doesn't get embarrassing.
250 yards throwing?
Yeah. Well, no, let's go total.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Let's go total.
Yeah, I could see him running for maybe hitting close to 100. I could see that. He needs to put it in the air, though, because everybody's expecting the run. So.
And the other one is Tua Tagovailoa is out with a rib injury. We talked about this last time you were on the show about how injury prone this guy is. He's so small, and I'm hearing that he's unathletic, which is weird because playing for Bama, and that the only reason Miami drafted him because he did play for Alabama. Look, the kid was amazing at Alabama.
He was fantastic. I thought he was finally going to be the Alabama quarterback to set the league on fire.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Now you got 3 choices. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Tua's out, a rib cartilage injury too. So I don't know how long he's going to be out. Is Brissett starting this game? Is that what
I
we're
believe
hearing?
so.
So
who did nothing?
But he says he's a starting quarterback. These are just interesting games. Like, okay, so the Bears-Browns game, going back to Chicago with Justin Fields, the line is Cleveland minus 7.5. That's not a lot for Justin Fields starting. I don't think so. And then if you go over to the Miami game, that line sits at...
Well, Cleveland hasn't looked
And they're playing
fantastic.
the Raiders, who, in my opinion, I'm about to put some money on them. I'm turning into a Raiders fan. I'm about to put some money on them going to the Super Bowl. That line's only minus 4.
Derek Carr might
Baller.
maybe be one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the league. For me, it's just health with him.
100%.
But other than that, I love him because he just gets what's a word I'm trying not to cuss. He just gets smacked around by the media. He's a joke, right? He's just him and John Gruden. Like, people just love to make fun of him. I just love that he's come out this season and lit the league on fire and done nothing but just played his heart out behind, lots of injuries on that team and everything. And then who's his backup now? Because Marcus Mariota, speaking of injury, bless his heart, comes out in week 1, runs one gadget play, like takes off with the ball, I think, for 30 yards or something like that. And he's injured and done for the season as well.
Yep.
It's just like, I don't know. I love the Raiders, though. I'm rooting for them.
Me too, 100%. This line's only Las Vegas Raiders minus 4. I don't know.
I would take it.
Where Vegas came up with that.
Get it now.
Yeah, I would too. That's going to definitely move. Derek Carr, 62 of 93 for 817 yards and 4 touchdowns on the season. That's he's gonna.
He looks like MVP Carr again.
Yeah, he's gonna light it up. If he stays healthy, watch out for Derek Carr the whole year.
Didn't he get injured last week?
Yep.
Though, and then he came back in the game. Okay.
And he's playing. Apparently, he's playing this week. So it's not that big. Derek Carr is a baller too. I just think Derek Carr is on fire. I love him and Darren Waller. I
got him on fantasy.
Waller is a beast. So I love that whole aspect of them. You got Henry Ruggs now really getting into his the speed. You're opening up this offense.
Right.
Josh Jacobs isn't even healthy. Wait till he gets back.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Team's going to be good.
They also have a guy named Hunter Renfrow who I expect to break out.
He's a good flex option on fantasy.
Yeah.
Very. We can get into all sorts of fantasy stuff. We got a
for
lot to
sure.
go over. Okay, man, let's get into some NFL now that we're talking about it. Brought to you by Hybrid Technologies. My buddy Roy Stanton over there at Hybrid Technologies Group, 832-336-1201. Call Roy when it comes to reliability. We're the ones you need. Phone services, cable services, surveillance cameras, cloud services, anything for your business, man. This guy will hook you up. He's unbelievable. Mention us, get a discount. Roy Stanton over there, 832-336-1201. Let's get into it.
do it.
Houston Texans and
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers tonight.
I hate the Panthers. You know
Do
this,
you?
right? I'm a Falcons fan.
Oh, Falcons, that's
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
Makes
So I
sense.
extra hate them. But Sam Darnold.
I should have worn my Carolina Panthers jersey.
I know. That's why I thought you were trying to troll me when you said that earlier. I thought you were trying to troll me.
Well, I mean, we could go over look, it's Thursday. It's a new NFL week, so we won't, I haven't seen you all week. We won't go over the Atlanta game last week, but it was
No.
pretty bad.
No, we don't need to. Look, just know that when Tom Brady plays the Falcons, just
Oh, yeah.
don't watch. Just don't watch.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Follow her on Twitter, guys. I mean, if you didn't last week, it was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Oh, Lord.
It's awesome. But, look, tonight's game, we're here in Houston, Texas. It's a Thursday night primetime game, and you called it Mills Mafia. I love that. I love
Mills
that.
Mafia. We got to support the dude. Because Tyrod Taylor, you had to know he was going to get injured.
Oh, yeah.
That's just what he does. I mean, he looked fantastic. And
Yeah.
let me just tell you, being in Cleveland last weekend, Browns fans after the game, while they were super happy to have the win and not start the season 0-2, nobody was happy with the way that their team played because Tyrod Taylor was slicing and dicing and cutting them up. If
Yes.
he would have stayed in the game, I don't know who would have won.
Yeah, it would have been
Yeah.
fun because the first half was very entertaining, very
Fantastic.
interesting. And I said from the beginning, Tyrod Taylor is serviceable for the Houston Texans, and he is.
Might be more than that.
Yeah.
If
and
he can, but he's not
now,
healthy.
you've got him hurt. This is a very interesting game, I think, for the coaching staff of the Texans. Right, their defensive front for the Texans is really good. Their front four is probably right now, I think, statistically one of the top 3 in the league as far as pass rushing. They've held runners in check, and the only thing that Carolina is weak in is their offensive line. That's the only part of their game is weak. Their defensive front 7 is phenomenal. Their cornerbacks phenomenal. Their wide receivers are great. You're seeing Sam Darnold put on a show now. Christian McCaffrey, probably best running back in the league.
Yep, and receiver.
So, yeah. So, I mean, they don't have many weaknesses. The Carolina Panthers are a great team. Like, all they needed was a serviceable quarterback, and it looks like they got it. Their only weakness is that front offensive line.
So put your hands on the young quarterback. Put hands on him. You know you're not going to stop Christian McCaffrey.
Yep.
Don't even try to. Just put hands on Sam Darnold because I'm not a believer in him. I think if you get to him, shake him up, I think you'll get some interceptions, and I believe that that's how you win this game. And I'm not a big stats person, but I was trying to back up an argument earlier. So I was looking up the defensive statistic of the Texans, and they have 7 total combined interceptions and forced fumbles. That with those 2 stats combined, they're number 1.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Texans defense, and that's why I say it has a lot to do with this coaching. Coaching is going to be a big thing in this
Yep.
game, and I think this is the Texans' real first. Like, Cleveland was an incredible game, but they thought they were going to. Everybody thought that they would get blown out, right? The line
Oh,
was
yeah.
12.5. You thought the Texans were going to get worked, but if Tyrod Taylor would have stayed in that game, like you said,
Yep.
you don't know what would have happened. The Texans looked great. It's a team playing with no expectations, and when you get that kind of you get a team playing with no expectations and they're not expected to do anything, they play harder.
Oh, absolutely. And don't discount a lot of these players on the Texans roster. A lot of people, they talk about the age, how old they are. Got a lot of dudes on 1- and 2-year contracts
Yeah.
that have a lot to prove. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of savvy veterans on this team, which is why I am loving it as far as betting goes, is picking them to cover. Because while they might not win games, they are vets, and they know how to win games. I believe that they're going to cover in a lot of games. They're not going to be favored in a lot of
The
games.
line has moved down to 8. It was 9. It's moved down to 8. Like you said, rookie quarterbacks in the last 5 years, you said, are
Something like that.
Like, I think the last 5 years are 100% in covering spreads on their first game. And so
First start, yeah.
the David Mills and Houston Texans era begins tonight, right?
Yep. And
He was their third-round
He did
pick.
some decent things against the Browns. I mean, what was he, 8 of 18? Like, that's obviously horrendous. But those 8 passes that he completed, I went for over 100 yards. So, and I know he threw an interception. He's going to throw an interception tonight. I think the odds on that for over half an interception
What is
were
it?
like minus 170.
Oh, really?
So I didn't take it, but I'll tell you a bet that I did take, and I'm like, lock it in. I'm stoked. I got Sam Darnold intercept over half an interception at plus money at plus 105.
Oh, wow. Nice.
And the Texans, like I said, they're right up there with forced fumbles and interceptions. They're at home, right? Which I think is going to help them with penalties and everything. I
Which is
think they might
interesting.
cover. Yeah, but Sam Darnold plus 105 over half an interception. Oh my goodness, I'm foaming at the mouth.
Well, I think it's over because I think they're going to feed the ball to McCaffrey so much. Like
Right.
I'm sure they're expecting a big lead for the Carolina Panthers from the gate, like in the first half.
Right.
So they'll run the ball. You won't see a lot of Sam Darnold,
Then you
but
probably see Chuba Hubbard come in.
I think the Texans will make this close late. That's what I think. I think it might get out of hand. There might be a two-touchdown deficit for them to try to overcome. But in the fourth quarter, Carolina's going to relax a little bit, and the Texans might cover their spread at the end, like somewhere in the fourth quarter. I do think Carolina pulls this out. I think that they're way better of a team, like just team-wise. Carolina Panthers, like I said, their only weakness is that offensive line. But defensively, wide receivers-wise, obviously running back, quarterback, Sam Darnold, they look better. It's this whole game just depends on David Mills. I believe he comes out and throws 2 picks. I mean, what are you going to do?
And the play calling, like to me, like we all know Carolina's defense is good, right? Like imagine that Carolina has a good defense.
Yeah.
But it's more shocking to me that Matt Rule has a good defense, than Carolina. But with all that being said, you know they have a good pass rush. You know they're going to try to put hands on him, shake him up, and you know he's good for probably 2 interceptions in this game. You have to limit that. You need to run the ball, run it effectively,
Yep.
and build his confidence with short, intermediate, quick. Get the ball out real quick passes. Screen passes to Philip Lindsay or to whoever you want. I don't care. Just short.
Murray or Johnson.
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 Yeah, that's another prop I like. Is over, I think, 41
Yeah, I think
receiving yards.
I think Johnson will play a huge key in this with those with dump passes and checkdowns. I think Johnson or Philip Lindsay's great in that. He was great in Denver for that. Checkdown plays that he catches the ball behind the line of scrimmage and then takes off for 12,
Right.
15 yards. He's great at that. He's small, he's tiny, he gets behind offensive linemen and just ducks and goes for 15.
And RPOs with Davis, underrated legs.
It's-
I watched a lot of him in college. He's deceptively athletic, I guess. Isn't that what you say about white dudes?
Look at these. Okay, so
Deceptively fast. Brings his lunch pail to work.
Kevin Anthony, 38-13 Panthers. Aaron Zabriskie says 38-0 Panthers. There's a lot of. I just think that late in this game, Mills will relax a little bit. If I wonder if it's 8 points, I think the first half would be -4. I would take the first half bet. I don't know if I'd go the full game with -8, but I would
Right.
take Carolina -4 in the first half. I think that's a great one because I think they're going to come out and execute a great game plan. It's going to be up to the Texans to come back in this game. Now, again, this is the NFL. Anything can happen. You might see the Texans come out and Mills throws a bomb and it's 14-0 Texans. I have no idea. But stats would say that Carolina comes out and beats the Texans. And for Texans fans, I hope that this game is close. Because if this
Yeah.
is a blowout, I see the hill going down, or the ball going down the hill pretty fast for the Texans. Because if David Mills doesn't put together a good showing, you've got him next week playing again. You don't know what's going to happen there.
Probably the next.
Yeah.
Those hamstring injuries, man, they can linger.
Yeah, so you just hope that you drafted David Mills in the 3rd round for a reason, right? I mean,
I didn't know what that reason was, but
Now you know.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, we have Tyrod. We need a quarterback. We need a backup." So, but do you think Cam Newton sat back last week watching football on Sunday and watching all these quarterbacks get injured, and it was just going,
oh, check
"Yeah, buddy."
Well, so that was I posted a video about this too, real quick. The Texans' next games: Panthers tonight at the Bills, versus the Patriots here, at the Colts, then the Cardinals, and then the Rams.
Those are all coverable, with the exception of the Rams.
I don't think they're winnable. It depends on the spread, but
I just said coverable.
yeah, coverable.
They won't be favored in any of them. I believe, though, that the Texans can cover.
What'd you just say a second ago? Oh yeah, okay. So Cam Newton, and also there's 2 quarterbacks out there that I have major questions about: Cam Newton and Nick Foles.
Oh, yeah.
Where's
Nick?
So now he's back up to Justin Fields.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that means he was 3rd string. This guy just
Yep.
won the Super Bowl and just got a massive contract.
He's only good with the Eagles. And he's also only good as a backup that comes in
What
the
if-
middle of a game, and he.
What if Justin Fields sprains his ankle tonight, okay? and Nick Foles comes in again for Carson Wentz and takes the
Wow.
starting job.
Oh my God.
Wow.
We'll see.
Speak it into existence. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, just the drama. I mean, Carson would just have to be sitting back going, "You got to be kidding me, dude. No way." But I mean, look, it's,
How do you spring 2 ankles?
not
Not just one, but 2. I just want to know.
Is he? I wanted to know, is he walking?
Like, I don't know, but I just, with other people.
Although, did you see the sack? I mean, his ankle
No.
was really twisted under there. It was
Only
it was
Carson's.
ugly. It was ugly.
Only
but
Carson, the most random
He
injuries
tries
happen
to
to
do
him.
too much. Carson Wentz, stay in, take your drop passes, take your underneath routes. Like he tries to run around and make something special happen every play.
I
It's
feel like
man.
he's angry. I feel like he's angry, and just every day it's like, oh, I got something to prove. I got something to prove.
Yeah,
prove that you can be healthy, bro.
Yeah.
Stay in the pocket.
For real. But that game's going to be interesting to see if Justin Fields. But again, going back to your Cam Newton question, he's got to be licking his chops right now. I wonder who's reached out to him. None of these are season ending yet, but last week was pretty brutal. If I was Miami, I'd be calling Cam because what do you have to lose?
That's what I thought. I thought for sure. We already know that you're not sold on your quarterback because I believe that where there's smoke, there's fire, and there has been so much smoke that we can't even breathe to that you want Deshaun Watson. So already,
And then not naming him captain.
right, he doesn't get named captain. And
Whoa.
I
He's
don't.
the only quarterback in the NFL not named to a captain.
Yeah, no, it's
What
weird.
the-
It's bizarre. But
Bring
with-
Cam into that weird situation. Just weird it up. Dude,
Right.
we need some more weird outfits in the press conferences.
And if I'm Cam, I would take it, right? Because that's a really good coach and a really well set up team for you to work with. It's not like you're going to my Falcons, you know what I mean? Where you're probably just going to get injured and destroyed because their offensive line is trash. Like, no, it's the Miami Dolphins. And I get that Josh Allen's in the division and the Bills are there. But don't tell me the Bills aren't beatable. They're a hot, sexy team right now. But,
They lost their first game pretty bad.
yeah, but I think Cam wants – what he wants is guaranteed I will be the starter. Whether Tua gets healthy or not, I'm your guy. He's not ready to be backup. He said that in the video that he did with his dad.
Yeah, yep. And that sucks for him. His pride's getting in the way because I think we talked about this before. Cam could make a lot of money.
A lot.
If he just went in as a backup. And,
Even the
wait for a
veterans
starter
minimum
role.
for somebody that's been in the league as long as he is what, like $9 million a year? I think
Yeah.
guaranteed. Guaranteed.
He's he's being Cam Newton, and that's why some teams and some people don't respect him for doing stuff like this. By the way, today is the 20th anniversary of what?
What?
Drew Bledsoe getting one of the worst injuries ever, and
Brady season.
Tom Brady coming in. It happened 20 years ago
Wow.
today.
Damn.
Tom Brady came in, and 8 Super Bowls later, here we are. Bledsoe's injury, by the way, people don't know this, was one of the worst injuries at that time that had happened in the NFL. It was not life-threatening, like what's his name for the Redskins, like
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith. But it was brutal. It was career-ending. Drew
He
Bledsoe.
never played after that?
Well, he never was the same. Like it was a really bad injury. They didn't have the technology they do now to kind of fix some of that stuff. But Brady had only thrown one pass in an NFL game prior to coming into that game.
In a terrible combine.
Wow. And the rest is history. 20 years ago tonight.
Do you think Brady's celebrating? With like an
Prob-
avocado milkshake?
Yeah, probably.
in his oxygen tube where he sleeps? I would celebrate if I was him.
Look, would you sleep in an oxygen tube if you made that much money and your
Sure.
wife was hot and kids
Yeah.
and you planned on playing until 50? He's
I
gonna.
like to drink though, and
Yeah, I like to have a good time,
Sometimes.
Brady. Well,
Yeah.
Brady looked like. Well, you saw what happens when he drinks. He drops the Super Bowl trophy in
Yeah.
the water or whatever. Like
he was so lit. He probably had like 2 glasses of wine. This guy was just gone. Organic wine.
Yeah, organic.
Definitely.
Oh man, welcome in, dude. We're just sitting here. We got about 20 minutes left here on Sports with Balls on Vipe. I'm sitting here with Rachel Oranja. Man, having a great time talking a little bit of Texans and Carolina Panthers tonight here in Houston. Whether the roof is open, that's a great question. What are the odds on that?
Are you
I
putting money in your bookie?
yes, I am.
She's.
I want to make a
She's
bet
putting
on.
money right now in her booking account. So
I can multitask.
I
Okay.
can. What did we convince you to do? What's the bet?
No, I realized that I had not put money on David Johnson receiving yards, and it's only at 20 right now at minus
Oh, yeah.
114. I think it's going to move. So
Yep, there we go.
I want to get it right now.
So, I mean, I had it in my notes that we would go over some betting. So, I mean, while we're in it, let's go.
Let's do it.
I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm not mentioning them.
Yeah, don't.
Although I like their site.
Do you? You like it because it's all we get to use here in Texas is the offshore books.
Yeah, and I've got like
Make
20
it
emails
legal.
a day from them, man. Like, not just them, like all of them. man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And like 1-800 numbers come through all the time. Like, hey, man, sign up through your Bitcoin. Like, no,
Yeah,
no thank you.
it's
No.
a lot.
But, yeah, so we both agree that the Panthers probably will take this game. Texans should cover.
Texans should cover. I mean, if you believe in historical statistics, they should cover. But I look at it. I don't care what's happened with other teams and other quarterbacks. That's not this one. So I just think that's
Yeah.
a coincidence, and there's really no thing to it. But with that being said, I think that the Texans absolutely can cover. Being at home, I think that if they put hands on Darnold, like David Coley has outcoached. I had zero expectations for him. I think he's done really well. Obviously, the defensive coordinator, whose name slips my mind at the moment, but we all know that he can coach a defense. What's Lovie Smith?
Lovie Smith.
I don't know why I couldn't remember that. But yeah, he can coach, and they're at home, and all they've done is cover. And all this team that has been crapped on all offseason by the media, by the
Yep.
fans, including myself, I'm guilty of it. All they do is a bunch of people you didn't really know exist, you don't know where they went to college at, have came in and just played their butts off, and
that's
I
what
love it.
And that's what I said from the very beginning of the season. I said, y'all watch out. This team can win 6-7 games because it's a
They
group
don't
of
want
guys
to.
that have nothing to lose.
Right.
And when you get a bunch of guys that have nothing to lose, and they start working towards a goal, they go out there and they play hard. You
Yep.
know, and they're not giving up because a lot of them are playing for contracts and trying to move on and do something better. We all know the Deshaun Watson situation. The Texans are playing really hard. They lead the league in turnovers right now.
Man, tell me how this defense looks like it's playing better without Watt, without Clowney, and without Roby.
Well, like you just said,
Coaching.
like it's a bunch of guys that
Scheming.
have zero to lose.
Right.
And they're just out there
Vets.
balling. Like
Yep.
I mean, just let's play some football. And so they're a sneaky team, gambling wise. But speaking of gambling wise, good bets today brought to you by Construction Concepts. Construction Concepts is changing corporate culture one design at a time. From hospitality, luxury, retail, medical facilities, their team of experts can update or create a space that exceeds your expectations. Give them a call, 713-589-2682. That's buildithouston.com. Josh and Mark over there are amazing. Call them for all your construction needs. The guys are phenomenal. So your good bet is David Johnson and the over, which is 20 yards. I believe that you're good on that. Is that 20 receiving yards?
20 receiving yards.
Man, all it
I
takes
love
is
it.
one play.
All it takes is one play. I think they're going to use him in the red zone.
Oh, yeah, because, look, Murray is more of a or Ingram, I'm sorry. I was
Yeah.
going back to the Saints.
It's okay.
Ingram is more of a ground and pound guy, inside the 20,
Also surprise.
yeah, and
How-
Philip Lindsay
old.
hasn't been played that much this year,
No.
and so this is right up David Johnson's alley.
Yeah,
Right
absolutely.
up his alley. These two offenses might look identical tonight.
They might, except Christian McCaffrey
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he's
is a little
obviously-
different. And Robbie Anderson,
play
we know what
calling
he
wise,
can do.
Play calling wise,
yeah.
they're going to look.
I
a
think
little
it'll be very similar.
Yeah.
Davis Mills has a little bit more mobility, a little bit more range
Yep.
than Sam Darnold's going to give you. So, again, just please, if you're listening, if anyone with the Texans listening, don't try to stop the run. You're not going to stop it. Nobody stops Christian McCaffrey. And
Yeah,
if you do
doesn't
stop
matter.
him running, he's just catch the ball.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't care. Put hands on Sam Darnold, get your turnovers, and then you turn around and you run the ball down their throats, limit your turnovers, control the time of possession. Boom, you're in this game and covering for me and making me money.
McCaffrey is, offensive-wise, the best all-around player, I think, in the NFL.
Yeah, definitely.
Offensive-wise. I mean, there's some defensive players that are just beast as well. I can't say he's the best player in the NFL, but I know offensive-wise, skill-wise, running,
Yeah.
catching. I'm sure he can throw the hell out of the ball, too, if
Probably.
you wanted to.
I'm sure.
The guy, that
He'll
whole
probably
family.
tackle you, too.
That whole family is unbelievable. Let's see. So let's go over some games that we have coming up Sunday. There's, in my opinion, it's only week 3. There's some mismatches. There's only 3 or 4 games that are actually super exciting. The Bucks-Rams game, that's going to be really good. They're both 2-0. Somebody's got to lose that game, so that's fun. Packers-49ers, those are always a blast. Aaron Rodgers obviously back on top of his game.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is the Lions.
I love Aaron Rodgers.
And they were losing in the first half.
I just love it. Aaron Rodgers says what he wants to say. Nobody else does.
That sounds weak to me. Just quit trying.
I like
You will
him.
never look good trying to control the media. You will never win. You will
like
never
him.
win. You just look like weak sauce to me. No, I love him. He's a bad man.
Oh, dude.
Don't get me wrong.
He is, and they brought up something on the football game the other night. He's unbelievable at knowing the game. Like
Yeah.
when the defenses are changing players in and out and getting free plays, he's the best I've ever seen at getting free plays.
Yeah.
Drawing people off sides, getting 12 men on the field, breaking the huddles, quick snaps. I mean, it's
does
like
that a
he just
lot.
knows. Yeah, it's crazy. He
Yeah.
does it. It's unbelievable, and he's super smart. Good for him. He's a lot of success, obviously. So the San Francisco 49ers and Packers play, and the Bengals and Steelers game is also interesting. And of
Oh, yeah.
course, Kevin Anthony's watching. Got to mention this Monday night: Eagles and Cowboys.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I have
God.
this irrational fear that they're going to tie and that it's just 2020 all over again.
That'd be awesome. I'm betting on a tie. Let's start from the top. Washington at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are -7.5. What you got?
I would honestly, I would take Washington to cover. I know that the game's in Buffalo, so that gives them 3 points. So Vegas actually
Yeah,
really thinks
4,
they're about
4.5.
10 or 11 points better than them. But I would take Washington to cover because I'm still not. So I know the Bills' defense looks a lot better this year than it did, but I'm a believer in Heineke.
The Bills played great this past week,
Right.
but Josh Allen did not. He still hasn't done a lot. His
Yeah.
stats are not that good. But 7.5, I'll take Washington to cover that well. Bears at the Browns. We talked about this a little bit ago. Justin Fields starting his first game.
Bears cover. Bears cover.
There we go again with the
Browns
rookie.
defense has not impressed me. And I wasn't even thinking about the rookie stat that we talked about. It just the Browns defense has not impressed. I mean, obviously they blew a massive lead to the Chiefs, and then the Texans. Tyrod Taylor was slicing and dicing them at home in their stadium. So I 7 points is too much for me. I would take the Bears cover. I would not take them to win, but I would take them to cover.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to take the Bears to cover that as well. They might even win that game. The Browns, they just lost. You're not sure if Odell's playing, and they just lost Jarvis Landry as well. Baker
about
Mayfield, when he has to throw over 40 passes, the Browns get out of whack. They
Yeah.
get way out of whack. And, it's a run. The Browns are run first, right?
Of
So
course.
if they have to throw the ball that much, Baker Mayfield just tries too hard. He ends up throwing interceptions. I take the Bears to cover that game as well.
Might check out a Kareem Hunt receiving yards prop. I don't know what
Yeah.
it is yet, but I might look into that. Now that I know that
Hey,
Jarvis is out, I forgot about that completely.
This is the good bet section.
Yep.
Ravens at the Lions. Baltimore -8.5 with a banged up Lamar Jackson because after that flip he did, now he has an injured hip. And you know he's
Give me one
third
moment.
in the league. He's third in the league in rushing.
Oh, it says
Yeah.
he's okay. Right there.
Oh, okay,
on the
well
marquee.
there we
Yep.
go. Breaking news.
Supposedly he's playing, but that is just when players do backflips or they get injured.
You know
celebrating-
Harbaugh was like,
yeah.
like whoa.
I
Because there wasn't anybody within 15 yards.
No.
of him, so.
Why do you do that?
Oh man.
Would you be mad if you're a coach? I'd
No,
be mad.
I mean, you can't. He's doing everything for you. Yeah, I mean, if he got hurt, obviously, but I think if he did that 5 years from now, he would get hurt. Like, it's like
Especially when his bones he has osteoporosis from all the hits that he takes.
he's third in the league in rushing, only behind Derrick Henry and Joe Mixon.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
He's,
That's
he's
crazy.
right after that.
He's got more rushing yards than Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
That's
insane. So Baltimore -8.5 at the Lions. Who you got?
I would. It's in Detroit. You know, it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter if it's Detroit or not. They're still going to lose. I'm not picking them to win.
They're 0-2 right now.
But 8.5
Jared
points.
Goff.
That's a lot,
That's a
man.
lot. That is
For
a
the
lot.
Ravens coming off. You know, he finally got the monkey off his back, like you said. Whatever. I feel like the Ravens are tired. They just got to be tired.
Yeah, they could be.
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions to cover in a
They've
trap
been in
game.
prime time the first two. Like, their first
Yeah.
two games have been really, really prime time games. So, yep. I take the Ravens. Well, I'll take the Lions to cover that as well.
Detroit sneaky good in the trenches.
Jared Goff could have one of those games. You know,
He
every
could.
every now and then he has a Ryan Fitzpatrick day. You know, 4 or 5 touchdowns.
Poor guy.
I know. I love Ryan, man. Sucks.
Yeah.
Colts at the Titans. Right now,
Ooh.
Tennessee -5. This is a divisional game, as we know. The Colts sit at 0-2. Titans are 1-1. Who you got?
Tennessee's defense is trash. The Colts are a better coach team.
Wow.
And yeah, it's horrid.
Oh, and it's Oilers.
And
week.
it's Love You
Oh,
Blue.
my gosh.
How
So go
dare
Colts.
them? Go Colts.
Well,
How
and then
dare them?
but you got the head coach of Frank Reich of the Colts who masterminded or came back on the Oilers. Like this is a bad game all around for
Yep.
Houston. Don't watch this game. If
The GM
you
is
live
from
in
Houston.
and you're from the 90s or 80s, just don't watch this football game.
No, just watch and hope for Tennessee's, look, the Colts are a really good defense. I know they are a team that is just kind of like the Eagles, like they are just cursed with injuries all the time. But that is a better coach team. And Tennessee's defense is hot garbage. So, yeah, I'm taking the Colts to cover. Actually, I would take the Colts. How much is money line for them to
Right
win?
now, it's Tennessee -5. I don't know what the money line is.
Yeah, they ain't winning by 5 in a
plus
divisional
180
game.
maybe. Plus 180, something like that.
In a divisional game, like,
Yeah,
nah, get out of here.
That's going to be a fun game to watch. I might, if you're doing a parlay bet, I would almost take the Colts to win this game.
Yep. Or the over.
'Cause
48,
you get a-
48's low.
Yeah, 48 is low. Let's see. Next game, Chargers at the Chiefs, which should be a very high-flying game.
Yeah.
Kansas City -7, over/under at 54.5.
Sneaky, though. The point total, I'm staying away from it because you know what other game I thought was going to be extremely high scoring was the Cowboys in the Chargers. And it was not. It was not. You know, so, I mean, I thought if any game was going to be, there was a lot of passing yards, obviously, and everything, but the score itself, what was it, 20-17?
I think I might stay away from that game, too. I just want to watch it.
Oh, I want to watch it.
That's going to be a fun
Absolutely.
game to watch. There's no defense between the Chargers and Chiefs, and it should be fun to watch. Both those quarterbacks, I absolutely love
And Herbert
Herbert.
already beat him before,
Yeah,
right?
I love Herbert.
Yeah.
I absolutely love him. I think he's the future of. He's one of the
He
great
is.
quarterbacks that are going to be here for a long time. Next game, Saints at the New England Patriots. New England -3, so basically it's a pick 'em.
I cannot believe that the Patriots are favored in this game.
Yeah.
Where did you say the game was at?
It's in New England, and so basically it's a pick 'em because I don't
Okay.
think that we don't know the identity of the New Orleans Saints. Jameis Winston threw 4 touchdown passes that first week. Last week he looked. I mean, this is what you got in Tampa Bay, right? You had the 4 touchdowns and then you get 4 picks. Like,
Yeah.
Jameis Winston, man? Like, you got to stay consistent, bro.
He's consistent. He is consistent.
He's consistently inconsistent.
There you go.
Inconsistent.
Consistently, I think that they will edge out their issues. I would actually consider. I hate saying this because I hate the Saints with every bone in my body, but I would take the Saints to cover. I might even look at them flat out winning because I just think at the end of the day, look, they're not. I don't know if Sean Payton is the better coach. He's not the better coach.
You always take the Patriots when the Patriots are playing a rookie quarterback. Bill Belichick, his numbers against rookie QBs are just unreal. Like, it's just unbelievable. So
Jameis ain't no rookie.
You could put the Colts to win and the Saints to win in a parlay bet, and you might win you some money.
Yeah, I would. If I'm the Saints, I consider using Taysom Hill in this game for quite a few gadget plays.
Yep.
Mobile quarterbacks usually give Bill a little bit of a frenzy, so do that.
Next
Good
game
luck.
is your favorite Atlanta Falcons
No.
at the New York Giants. Both teams 0-2, so somebody's getting a W. Who is it?
Somebody's gonna win. You're saying there's a chance.
Somebody's getting a W for their first time in 2021. Falcons at the Giants. Daniel Jones went off last week, which is interesting. Falcons look just lost.
They are lost. They're
I mean, they
absolutely lost.
just look. They don't know who their running back is. Their quarterback is he's running all over the place, and he can't run. And
Right.
the wide receivers are hurt now.
The
Man,
offensive line
Giants
is just
-3.
horrible.
I would eat that up all day. I think
Really?
the Falcons start 0-3. Remember, I said what happens if they start 0-5? The Falcons, like, what happens if they get in trouble? And Matt Ryan. I mean, this is going to be interesting because the Falcons just lost. What's his name? The wide receiver.
Really?
Yeah, Ridley. So he's
I was
not
so
playing this
drunk
Sunday.
at that point when that game played. No, because I'd been at the Cleveland Browns
Yeah.
game.
Follow her on Twitter.
Yep.
Follow her on Twitter.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not picking that game, though.
yeah, of course you
I don't
know.
care.
I'm taking the Giants -3 on that for sure. But you could also, I mean, if the Falcons do all of a sudden play well, if you pair them with the Colts, Chargers, if you do a Colts, Saints, Falcons parlay, and they all win,
What would that be?
a lot of money. Depends on what you
Let's see.
bet. But $50, $50, $500 or $600 right there, maybe. Bengals at the Steelers in what I think will be an incredible football game. Both teams 1-1. They're playing in Pittsburgh. The only part that makes this game a little bit less exciting is T.J. Watt is not playing.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That dude, they just paid him a lot of money, and a
That
lot of
doesn't
it was
happen
guaranteed.
all the
It happens all the
time.
time. Yeah. Is it season ending?
I don't know yet. I'll have to look that up.
Okay.
I don't know if it is.
No
or isn't.
worries.
But Bengals, Pittsburgh is only favored -3. I think I picked the Bengals to win that game.
Pittsburgh,
Against-
it's terrible.
There's a lot of -3s this week.
Yep.
That's interesting.
It's still early in the season. This is the
yeah.
time to bet right now until Vegas catches up to you, at the midway point.
Jeremy Vangrove says it's a blast to drink with her.
Oh, yeah, I met him in Atlanta
Oh, nice.
week 1. Yeah, it was a good time.
Very nice. Jets. Let's say Cardinals, Jaguars. Who you got? Arizona -7.5.
I think it's in Jacksonville, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I believe that this is a sneaky trap game. I believe that the Cardinals have issues defensively.
Yeah, they should have lost. They should have lost.
I could see a world where the Jaguars cover. They're obviously not winning the game, but I could see a world where they cover. 'Cause I feel like
Maybe cover late.
maybe could be.
The Cardinals
they could
have
also get
issues.
destroyed.
Cardinals have issues at running back, and
That too?
that's gonna play fits with them. They should have lost last week. They
To the Vikings.
they
Who
just missed, it was a missed
loses
field goal.
more what could be game-winning field goals than the Vikings?
Detroit, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
We could say the '90s Bills, but whatever.
Currently in the game. True. Dang.
Sorry, Bills fans.
Throw some shade.
That was ugly. Real quick before we get out of here, Jets and Broncos. Denver -10.5. Who you got? Denver's at home.
Denver is looking really good. I know their
Yep.
defense is really good, and Teddy's looking good, and they're running the ball. I had so much more faith in Robert Saleh and Wilson that it's like I'm struggling in my brain to really make a pick here, but 10.5 is a lot.
All right, I'll just give you a couple of more real
Denver.
quick. We already took the Dolphins at the Raiders. Take Raiders all day. It's only -4. Bucks and Rams. Tampa Bay -1. This is the game of the week, in my opinion.
Yep.
Going to be a blast to watch these
Absolutely.
teams go at it.
Rams.
Rams, nice.
I don't believe in the Bucks secondary right now, so Rams.
Yeah, they are beat up. Seahawks and Vikings, which should be another high-flying game.
I hope so.
Seahawks -5.5. And then let's just say the last one, just because I know we've got Kevin on here and a couple of other people that hate the Cowboys. The Eagles are at the Cowboys right now. It's Dallas -3.5.
Dallas is winning that game, and I think that they
Ooh.
win by 3.5. I think Dak's going to come out and just sling it. I don't care if they run the ball or not. They need to just give up on Zeke right now, because the only reason
Tony
that
Pollard,
he's
ooh.
getting more touches than Tony is because the reason he's getting played is because he got paid, and that's not what you're supposed to do. It's not how you win a championship.
He looks like he lost at least a half a step.
Right, and at his age, he's supposed to be in his prime. Why did you try to lose weight and come out and say you're in the best shape of your life? Like, that's a red flag to me, number one. That means you don't like the product that you're putting out on the field, that you're trying to revamp yourself when you're supposed to be in your prime. Tony Pollard, I believe, leads the league right now in yards per carry. It's like
Dude,
over 7.
And he looks quick.
Yeah.
He looks good. If I
He's
was
always
Dallas,
looked good.
and again, they're not gonna start Pollard because of how much Zeke is getting paid. But if Zeke so much as twist a toe,
Yep.
Tony Pollard's starting. All right, real quick, guys, we got to thank a couple people before we get out of here. Number one, Christian's Tailgate for having us up here. The Texans game is about to start here in Houston, Texas. Can't wait on that. Want to thank Vipe definitely for putting this on. My buddy over there, David Carrier at Smarter Mortgage, 281-650-0648. Give him a call for all your refinancing and purchasing needs on homes. Speaking of homes, Joe Applewhite. He's the realtor to call here in Texas, 713-291-5270. Everything he touches turns to sold. Roy Stanton, Hybrid Technologies, cloud services, cable services, anything you need to set your business up with wires, technology, boy over there, Hybrid Technologies, Roy Stanton's got it. Construction Concepts, creating a corporate culture one design at a time. Mark and Josh, they build stuff. Last thoughts, tonight's game. Carolina Panthers at Houston Texans. Here you got. It's Carolina -8 right now.
Well, to cover, which I got them at
Texans
9.
to cover.
Texans to cover. The Panthers should win, but yeah, that's how I see it going. What do you want, a point total or something?
Nope. I'm taking Carolina to beat them by more than 8. So, other than that, we're out of here, man. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming back, and then hopefully we'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you guys. We'll see you guys next week, Monday evening. We're out of here.